is in the know for Monday, March 11th, the 71st day of 2024. There are 295 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. And we'll try and get used to the new time. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl, Keith Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm a little out of breath, to be honest.
Been running around?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Well, we'll try and let you get caught up.
Okay.
I bet you did not like that it was dark this morning for the majority of the morning that you were up trying to get your day started.
Yes, but you have to realize I'm accustomed to being up in the dark.
Okay,
So
but
it's just extended.
Which you had gotten adjusted to a little more daylight earlier in the day than you got this morning.
Yeah.
The good news is a bunch of daylight at the end of your day today.
Yes,
So
yes,
you'll take that for gardening
Absolutely,
and being
yes,
outside and all those good things. So
Yes.
we're all a little bit sleepy today, but we'll try and get it figured out in a couple of days. He is the 5-time winner of the Ohio News Hawk Award, 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Just trying to figure out some technical issues here on this side. How are you?
Gotcha. Safe to presume that Monday is your least favorite day of the week?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, but technical issues have now been solved, so we're good.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, sure, absolutely. And I
Friday is
also
your
like
favorite?
lasagna.
Saturday
Is that
your
what I'm
favorite?
supposed to say next?
No, I don't know. You like lasagna? Was this a Garfield bit?
Yeah.
Oh,
just,
okay. I got you.
We talked a lot about
Well-
Garfield last week, so I guess it must have been the day that you weren't on the show.
I got you. Okay. So Mondays, and then you add in the daylight saving time adjustment, and it just makes it a little bit hard to get going today. When I got up today, it felt like 5 o'clock. You know why? 2 days ago, it was.
See, for me, it's always the second day. Tomorrow
Yeah.
is going to be the day that's going to be the roughest.
Well, I was in my office most of the day yesterday, and because I don't have exterior windows, then I have no idea of really what's happening outside. So it was just sort of odd that when I left my office, like, well, it still looks like the middle of the afternoon. You just don't have a chance to kind of get accustomed to it, but it will take, better part of a few days to understand. What I did not like was 26 degrees as the temperature when I woke
That
up
was
this
terrible.
morning.
Yes.
I thought we were beyond that. The low in E-Town was 24, I heard. So
Crazy.
we will see a warming trend to start this week. We're going to see highs in the 60s and 70s as we go. But enjoy it this week, because I peeked into next week, and the highs for the first 3 days of next work week are only in the 40s. So enjoy these 60s and 70s this week while we have them. We'll see sunny, a high of 62. We'll see clear and 40 tonight. Then we will see mostly sunny tomorrow and a high of 69. Then as we get later in the week, back around Friday or so, rain chances will tick back up. And we will see the greater likelihood of more precipitation coming up later on in the week. A couple of things to pass along to you. Oh, yeah, we're less than a month now away from the eclipse. So we're getting another eclipse. This one is coming April 8th. The spectacle will last up to 4 minutes, 28 seconds. And it will, I'll tell you the direction that it's moving momentarily, but it's a lot of North America is impacted, but it's cutting in a line. Think of it this way: Dallas, Little Rock, Indianapolis. So if you move in that direction, that's the line where the largest city line where it'll be cutting through. But down around Henderson and Union and those counties here in Kentucky will be the closest counties in Kentucky that you get to where you get the most full effect of it. 15 U.S. states will get in on a piece of the action, but Tennessee and Michigan are just barely, like it's clipping the edge of Tennessee, so it's technically in there, but they're not going to get much of a show. So that sort of shows you the angle that it's going. If it is taking in Henderson County, but it's only clipping Tennessee, it kind of shows you the angle that it's the path that it's moving across the country. And the reason that the totality is longer than what we typically observe is because the day before the total solar eclipse, the moon's closest approach to Earth is the day before, and so because it's closer, the totality lasts longer. The next time that we get them every 2 or 3 years, but most of the time they're out over the ocean and no one really knows it. In 2026, we will get the next total solar eclipse is going to be in Greenland, Iceland, and Spain. That's in 2026. And then go ahead and set your calendars for 2045. Go ahead and jot that down if you have your calendar open. It will span coast to coast in 2045. Think about this line. It'll go from Northern California, so Sacramento up in that area, all the way to Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Wow.
So it's going to do a diagonal swath across the country, and so it will be a big impact in 2045.
I'll almost be 50 years old. My goodness.
Sam, you can keep your kids home from school that day,
Yes.
and
I can
Yes, you can.
tell them back in my day when I was a kid, we had it in Bowling Green. You know, it was cool back in, what was it, 2017? Was that when it was?
it was not cool. It was not cool trying to leave the area.
Well,
It was
Steve-
not cool people trying to get out of the area.
Luckily for me, like Bowling Green was 97% totality or something, and we were just like, well, is it really worth the 3%? And
Good
very
enough,
glad,
right?
no, it was not. So we just sat on Western's campus, and it was cool because the streetlights all turned on Western's campus when it happened.
East Carroll Gibson Boulevard was fine for me. I didn't feel the need to go to Hopkinsville. I would the
You
Grayson
might
County
still be in
Public
Hopkinsville
Library
if you
was-
would have went.
There's a good chance I would have gotten stuck and not gotten out. President Biden touring the country this week. He's in a bunch of different swing states after the State of the Union speech on Thursday. He talking a lot about Israel and kind of tough talk with Netanyahu and Israel, Gaza, etc. The thing that made me laugh the most, and I didn't know about this on Friday, is that after the speech, Biden was talking with some people in the House chamber. They might have been senators, they might have been House people. I don't remember who they were. But there was a hot mic nearby, and he said, now don't tell anyone this. So they always, don't tell anyone, but I told Bibi, he's talking to Netanyahu, that we're going to have a come to Jesus meeting. Does the president know that Bibi Netanyahu doesn't believe in Jesus? Like, has he considered that that's one of the foundational differences in the Jewish faith versus the Christian faith, is that it would be like telling me we need to have a come to Muhammad meeting. It's not going to mean much to me. Like, we're not coming to Muhammad. So, but he has repeated that multiple times throughout the weekend. So I don't know what Bibi Netanyahu's equivalent of come to Jesus meeting is, but apparently they're going to have one. Also, there is a criminal investigation opening in the Alaska Airlines 737 blowout. The DOJ has launched a criminal investigation into the blowout that left a gaping hole on the Alaska Airlines plane in January. I don't know who they will ultimately find that would be criminal. Will it be, and I don't know how it works. Like when you have mechanics that are working on Boeing aircraft in Louisville. So the question would be, do the same people work on Southwest Boeing aircraft that work on American Boeing aircraft that work on Delta Boeing aircraft, or do they each have their individual? So this would be Alaska. Would it be, and I think Alaska is actually owned by American. Would it be Boeing? Would it be, I don't know who they're going to try and criminally charge, but apparently they're going to start that process. All right, headline close to home. A man has been arrested on drug and other charges after failing to stop for a Grayson County Sheriff's Office deputy. This happened late last week. Thursday night around 11, Deputy Andy Cass was on patrol. near Peonia Road and St. Anthony Road when a Chevy truck failed to stop at the stop sign. He initiated lights and siren, but the vehicle failed to stop, continued traveling on Peonia Road. The truck, traveling between 30 and 40 miles an hour, eventually stopped in the 8,000 block of Peonia Road. They executed a felony traffic stop with the driver, 49-year-old Kelvin Asher of Louisville, taken into custody without further incident. They located methamphetamine, charges, etc. Speaking of daylight saving time, as we kind of get adjusted to the new time for the year, State Representative Stephen Doan from Erlanger. Do you personally know him, Sam? He's from
I know
Erlanger.
of him.
Okay.
He's somebody
Well,
up there.
I'll see if you like this idea of his. He has introduced House Bill 674, and which would keep Kentucky on year-round standard time in both Eastern and Central time zones in the state. Doan says he's an early morning riser, and that one of the things he likes the least is when you don't have the early morning sunlight. Well, I mean, we've already established there are a bunch of people that prefer the late afternoon and evening sunlight, but he says this change is the only one that is available to the state. Either we keep doing the hour change or we can adopt permanent standard time. Under federal law, permanent daylight saving time is not available to us. So those are the two options that we're stuck with. Continue to observe or stay on standard. We do not have the option to stay on saving. He said there are only two states that are currently on permanent standard time, Arizona and Hawaii. They don't need to change time in Hawaii. It's pretty constant down there. He said it would work similar to those two states. So
No.
just you want to continue to change?
Unless everybody changes, I mean, just think on how much of a, like, it's already a mess enough, like, going to E-Town. Like, just think of going to, and I mean, for me, who would travel into Ohio, into Indiana, potentially for different things, like, oh, wait, are they an hour ahead right now? Are they the same time as us? That would just be a mess.
Indianapolis
trying to
was
figure
a
it out.
city for a long time that didn't observe, that didn't change. Like Indiana did, but Indianapolis did not. So that was kind of odd. I'll tell you what's more odd than changing and not changing is you look at the vertical line of the central time zone, and if you look at it if you look at it from pole to pole, it looks pretty straight. But if you zoom in and you get down to Kentucky, E-Town is on Eastern time, but you get just south of E-Town, down around Hart County, and then you've got a line that goes all the way over to Somerset before it turns and goes on down. So you've got this real carve out. There are people east of E-Town that are on Central time, but yet it just is odd to me.
I mean,
I struggle with time like that anyway. So
on a clear day, I can almost see Eastern time zone from where I am.
Sure, of course, especially if you climb up your fire tower that you have there in your backyard.
Yeah, that'd be the day.
Legislation containing several provisions which are designed to ease the teacher shortage in Kentucky won a unanimous approval in the House on Friday. HB 377 is sponsored by Kim Banta from Fort Mitchell. Do you know her?
No.
I
know the name, but
I'm talking all these northern Kentucky people, and you're our resident northern Kentuckian.
the
And she
one
is a
state rep I knew from up there lost to, I believe, the Doan guy.
Described the provisions when presenting it on the floor, and she said this would pay student teachers a stipend of $5,000. Teachers would also have an opportunity for loan forgiveness after they graduate. It is for public school teachers once they graduate to work in a public institution. Representative Tina Bojanowski from Louisville, who is also a teacher, thanked Banta for sponsoring the bill. She mentioned remarks made by the Jefferson County Public School Superintendent Marty Opolio before a legislative committee, and he called for get more teachers in the seats, keep them there, get more bus drivers, and get our students to school. So that bill passed 87-0. So we'll see where it goes from there. Over 200,000 deceased voters have been removed from Kentucky's voter rolls while Secretary of State Michael Adams has been in office. He said, notwithstanding there's been a sustained increase in voter registration. In February, more voters were removed from the rolls than added. 15,982 were removed. About 7,500 were added. Of the 15,000, nearly 16,000 voters removed in February, 15,125 were deceased, so all but 800. 11,000 were removed after the Secretary of State requested that the Office of Vital Statistics provide a comprehensive list of deaths since 1911. 354 people moved out of state. 311 people became felons and lost their privilege to vote, etc. So continuing to, now that doesn't mean all those 220,000 voted. These are just stale voter registration figures that are on the rolls. It doesn't mean somebody showed up and voted for them, but you want as clean a list as you can possibly get. The Sherman-Minton Bridge, which carries I-64 and US 150 across the Ohio River between Louisville and southern Indiana, was suddenly shut down again on Friday. The most troubling thing of that announcement to me was they have been working on the Sherman-Minton Bridge for the better part of 6 to 8 months, maybe even longer. They had shut it down totally previously because they spotted some things that were troubling. They are doing this rehab project where they were alternating lane to lane. But something got their attention so significantly on Friday that they said, nobody on this bridge. So did they just now how did they just now discover that that was a problem? So
It's terrifying.
61 years old, and they're trying to add another 40 years to its life. The University of Kentucky men's basketball team traveled down to Knoxville on Saturday and earned themselves a 2 seed in the SEC tournament, which begins on Wednesday in Nashville, 85-81. And did you think in the final minute they were going to give it away, Sam? I mean, they were up like 14 with a minute and a half to go, but because they can't get the ball in bounds, it turned out to be a 4-point game. But it was exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a great game, great win. Listen, the win is all that matters. They won in the end, and in a couple of months, we'll never even remember what happened down the stretch of that game. They found a way to win the game, and that's a big win against a good team on the road. And as you mentioned, it gets that number 2 seed in the SEC tournament, which is big as well.
Saved yourself an entire day in the tournament. You know, and Kentucky has historically not had to play until Friday, but now they're just trying to get into the weekend. Would be nice. It's been a while since that, but Justin Edwards hit 3 consecutive 3-pointers. Stacey Reed had a big hug for him after the game, I saw. So it was good to go on the road. Kentucky played really well down there. They seems like Rick Barnes can get Calipari in Lexington, and Cal gets Rick Barnes in Knoxville. 85-81 was the final. Both those teams will play on Friday in Nashville in the SEC tournament. The Cats can get Ole Miss or Texas A&M, is that right?
Correct. And then they'd be looking at Alabama or Florida probably in that next game, and then Tennessee, Auburn, whoever in that next championship if they make it that far.
I think that's the other. I mean, not playing until Friday is big, but really drawing in the other side of the bracket from Tennessee, Auburn, and South Carolina and LSU is probably almost more worth it than the game.
Yeah, because Alabama's a team that Kentucky probably feels that they match up better with than a physical team like your other ones.
They're kind of a mirror image of them. So anyway, the tournament gets underway. I guess that makes tip-off on Friday at 6 o'clock. So there is a game before that. Do they run split session on that? Is that the first game of the night
Correct. So
session?
it's 1 and 3:30 and then 6 or I guess it would be noon and 3:30, noon and 2:30 and then 6 and 8:30 or whatever.
So that game will start on time because it's the first of the evening session.
Barring something drastic in the first game.
Sure. The the SEC women's tournament just wrapped up. Did you see the fight and the ejections between LSU and South Carolina?
Yeah, that was.
Wow.
I wasn't watching, and I had been off Twitter for a while and logged on about 30 minutes after it happened, and obviously it was blowing up and was kind of blown away.
Police were jumping out of the stands to try and break it up, and
because somebody charged the stand from the stands.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so that's
not good. Morehead State, they're clanking Ale-8 bottles together over there this week. They have to wait a while to find out where they're going, but they punched their ticket to the big dance and good for them. So Western won't get in, will they?
I mean, it'll all depend on how they do in the tournament.
If they won the tournament,
Which
probably, but
their coach that they hired has been a head coach for 2 seasons prior and has won the tournament in both of his 2 years. So won his conference tournament. So that's pretty good winning percentage.
did it change where Bellarmine gets in this year?
No.
Okay.
They were already eliminated anyways, I do believe.
We've gone from 0 Kentucky teams in the tournament last year to already 2 this year. So
Okay.
Well, no,
that's
Kentucky was in the tournament last year.
was it year before that
No,
we didn't have
Kentucky
anyone
has had a team every year in the tournament since 1963.
in? Okay. Even was it 2 years ago? There was somebody they were
No,
were
because
close
Kentucky
to
last missed the tournament in 2021, and that year Louisville was at least when they were respectable.
they were our saving grace. And Joey Votto signs a minor league contract to play baseball in his hometown of Toronto. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I am okay with that. I mean, it's gonna feel weird, but no, I already bought a Blue Jays hat, so I'm all in.
I was going to say, you must be a Blue Jays fan now, at least for this year. $20 million, too rich for the Reds' blood. But my guess is he'll be back to Cincinnati sometime soon, maybe in a broadcaster's booth.
I hope
maybe
so.
in-
I hope so.
Who knows? He'll be around. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues. The Watkins Funeral Home Legacy, a steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogers-watkins.com or experience the Watkins difference personally on North Main in Litchfield.
Everybody get ready, time to start a new day. Let's hit the ground running in a healthy way. Take a first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle on a July night. Walk around town, make you feel alright. Take the first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle.
Community Health Partners want you to be as fit as a fiddle.
The 2024-25 FAFSA is changing. Students complete the FAFSA to apply for financial aid to help pay for college. What's changing? The FAFSA is more user-friendly and more students will be eligible for aid than ever before. Because of the changes, the FAFSA may not be available until late December 2023. What's not changing? There's help. There are Kia counselors and others who are ready to help you complete the FAFSA. You're not in this alone. For more info, text MONEY to 1-800-928-8926. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Your adventure awaits at the Kentucky Horse Park. Experience live horse presentations, meet retired racing legends, and get up close to unique breeds from around the world. Dive into equine history at the park's International Museum of the Horse. And for a truly immersive experience, get in the saddle for a scenic horseback ride. With activities for every age, the Kentucky Horse Park promises an unforgettable journey for all. Plan your trip by visiting kyhorsepark.com. That's kyhorsepark.com.
Do you know what red flags to look for when considering an investment opportunity? Fraudulent sellers might make unsolicited contact, tell you everyone is buying it, and pressure you to invest right now. They make hefty promises over the phone, but never put them in writing. At the Department of Financial Institutions, we have a saying. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're on a mission to educate Team Kentucky and protect your hard-earned dollars. Visit us online at kfi.ky.gov for more information.
General Motors will be selling the all-electric version of the Chevrolet Blazer again at a lower price. Sales restarted last week after a 2-month halt in sales to fix software issues with the SUV. Chevy officials released a statement saying the software will improve features and functionality. The cost of the vehicle will be several $1,000s less and is now again eligible for the $7,500 federal tax credit for EVs. The automaker will also now have an entry-level model that starts under $50,000. WorldCoin is suing to overturn a temporary temporary ban in Spain. Sam Altman's digital identity startup was instructed this week to stop scanning people's eyeballs and halt collecting personal data. Spanish authorities want to pause until several issues are investigated, including the collection of biometric data from minors. And Apple is reversing course on its decision to ban Epic Games in Europe. The makers of Fortnite revealed Friday that Apple will let the developer launch its own iOS app store. Tech Report, Matt Mattinson, NBC News.
Today is Workplace Napping Day.
All right.
Sam, I'm going to give you permission to go ahead and nap in your workplace today.
Luckily, it's not a far walk.
It's Plumbing Day.
Hey, I like the punning.
That's it's very necessary.
When it goes right, it goes right. When it goes wrong, it's really wrong.
It really goes south.
And it's Promposal Day. So just get ready for the photographs sometime today or this evening.
I guess
A bunch of,
Grayson County's prom's coming up relatively soon.
what's in
The
April the
20th.
20th or something.
Oh, I know where some dresses are.
Does Vandalay Industries have dresses?
Vandalay Industries
very
has
good.
dresses.
You got a green one even?
I do. It's beautiful.
Thought you did have a green
It
one.
is
That's
beautiful.
what we're celebrating today. As you are, like I say,
I do find those promposals to be weird. I guess because we didn't do them, but like they're strange. But we also didn't do gender reveals and all that.
Why is it strange?
Lump them in the same. I don't know.
I think it's fun.
Because I'm old, Sam. Because I'm old.
Because
I'm old, Sam.
I always appreciate it when they do it to like athletes, and they do the little like play on words. Like especially because it's baseball and softball season, so it'd be like, you know, the really cheesy like "you slid into my heart" or something like that, and it's always like, oh.
So I'm taking a big swing and asking you to prom.
Yes, or you know,
Look at you two.
You stole my heart. You steal bases, now steal my heart, or something.
Oh my goodness.
We have
I
all
didn't-
the baseball
okay.
analogies that you need.
All right.
There are we're trying to get adjusted, even though I didn't really realize that the daylight was creeping up earlier and earlier, and now all of a sudden, wait a minute, we're back to dark again. But as you're trying to get adjusted to the new schedule, 7 daily rituals to improve your self-esteem. By the way, I think you're supposed to test your batteries in your smoke detectors when you change your clocks.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah.
I usually just
that.
wait until 3 a.m. when it lets me know.
Sure. If you don't test them, they'll test you. Just don't worry
And
about it.
and never at 3 p.m. Always at
No,
3
I
a.m.
don't know why. It's like a universal truth. They can't happen. They can't happen between daylight hours or while you're awake.
There's a great Friends episode.
They wait until you're asleep. That's right. Oh yeah,
Yes.
when she
Phoebe?
bangs it and throws it out, and it's
So
still
good.
chirping. The 7 daily rituals to improve your self-esteem. 1, morning gratitude. Wake up in the morning and, depending upon your age, just be grateful for another day. Oh, thank you, Lord. I didn't wake up dead.
So what,
Number
so what my grandma always said. She woke up this morning and her name wasn't in the obits.
That's
There
right.
you
So might as well get dressed and brew some coffee. Number 2, mindful meditation. And that might be prayer for you. That might be centering yourself. It might be whatever. 3, daily affirmations. Just get your Stuart Smalley book out. You're good enough. You're smart enough. And doggone it, people like you.
It's a good one, actually. I like it.
Number 4, it's a Saturday Night Live ripoff.
Oh.
4, journaling. I kind of wish I was a journaler.
I really wish you were a journaler.
I wish I had set aside, and it's never too late, but
I have asked you before.
I know you want me to journal like our origin story, which is fine.
I
And
do,
certainly do that.
but the older I get, the more I wish, yes. So keep going.
My grandpa journaled like every day for years. I mean, I think like 50 years or so, and they still have them all. It would be his thing. I think every morning he would do it.
I would get great glee, I also think, from placing landmines in them. Like, I wonder if anybody's ever going to read this next line. Sort of how I used to. I would plant landmines in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales when Carolyn Smith would make me read it aloud. I would be the type of person that in my journaling, I would just put a completely out of context sentence and then just snicker to myself wondering, is anyone ever going to read this and wonder, why did he write that? I don't know. It could be. Or the buried treasure is located at, and then just stop.
I think if I kept all of these that I do, my friends think, I think this is a form of journaling.
I think you're right.
You know, it's more of what I'm doing.
I think it sounds like a daunting task.
It does.
Like, I
does.
got to sit down and journal every day. It doesn't have to be.
No.
It doesn't have to be comprehensive.
It can be 3 sentences.
Yeah, it can be straightforward.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try and do better.
Number
4.
Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, finish what you were saying.
Number 5, physical exercise. 6, self-care rituals.
Take a shower.
And then 7, reflection time. Set aside a few minutes after each evening to reflect on your day. Mine is usually, I didn't get to that. I was supposed to get that accomplished today. I didn't do that. That's the equivalent of my reflection.
Mine are all the same on that day. Like Monday is not the same as Tuesday. Tuesday is not the same as Wednesday. But all Mondays are Mondays. All Tuesdays are Tuesdays. You know.
That makes good sense. So while you're working on those things, here are 10 habits of parents who raise the happiest kids. 1, they play with their child. 2, they know the important things happening in their child's life at school. The trick to that is asking the proper questions. How was your day is not going to net you knowledge of what's going on in their life at school. And even sometimes she gets wise to did anybody get in trouble at school today? No?
No.
Okay. Let's try this again. Did anyone come close to getting in trouble at school today? No? Okay, fine.
Don't you usually go with a lunch question?
I'm usually 3 questions from lunch at all times, but that's when I have learned to try and shelf that one because that typically used to be the icebreaker, but the answer most often was, I don't remember.
Well, and it depends on if you're the picker-upper or you get her, because I've already asked her that if I've picked her up.
Right.
So you get to do something different, right?
I am she is getting better at that question. You know, she is, you know, I ask her pizza, and I guess she remembers that because it isn't her favorite. They don't try to fix everything. They don't overwhelm their children. They read books together every day. They fess up when they blow it. I think that's important.
Yes.
I think it's, you know, none of us get everything right. And I think your kids will be super shocked when you hear them when they hear you say, I didn't handle that correctly. Or
I totally agree.
they show affection to their spouse in front of their kids. They cheer the good stuff. They trust their gut, and they give themselves a break. Not everybody's going to get everything right. Just give yourself a break. Do better the next time.
Nobody's perfect.
Is that Wilbon or Kornheiser that says, I'll try and do better the next time? Do you know, Sam?
Say that again?
On PTI, it's either Kornheiser or Wilbon that says, I'll try and do better next time.
Gosh, it's been so long since I've watched that show. That sounds very familiar, but I couldn't tell you.
That should be my tagline.
I was more of an around the horn guy.
I'll try and do better the next time. You like Tony Reale better?
I mean, Woody Page.
Here are I do like Woody Page. The weirdest side hustles that can make you real money.
Uh-oh. I perked up.
There's some of these that I don't even think I want to say out loud.
Oh, yeah.
One is pooper scooper. Okay.
And like, is there more context?
When I was in, well, yeah, I mean, people don't want to, they don't want to clean up after their dogs, so they sub it out for them.
So if I just walk around the town here and just start picking it up and take it to City Hall, that they'll just pay me? Is that how it works?
Probably would be a little hard to monetize that, but feel free.
Do you get paid by the weight?
They may do it different in Clarksville
or the amount
in Litchfield. Sam.
I have I have other ideas.
By the way, it was weird. Everybody in Washington, D.C. that lives at the Navy Yard has at least 2 dogs. It was weird seeing people walking their dog on the sidewalk. Like, where are they going to go? But anyway, it happens a lot.
Oh, I thought I was more asked, like, where else would they walk their dogs? In the middle of the street? But I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, like, dogs usually like turf, at least.
Most of those that in that situation will have like a little turf pad in their house. That will be the...
They have those at airports, too.
Yeah, the corner.
Baby gear rental. I don't know. Oh, so the stuff your kid's outgrown, you can rent it to someone else that doesn't want to buy it. Most of the stuff Vandalay Industries sells is so inexpensive that you would pay as much to rent it as you would to buy it.
I don't have,
Friend services.
Huh.
And that's not quote fingers. That's actually...
I didn't take it as quote fingers, but
it was friend. Well,
So, like,
some people
you
did.
pay somebody to be your friend?
Yeah.
That's kind of
just
sad.
to go pal around,
Yep.
walk around Mandalay Industries.
Walk around.
You know,
Mandalay
you know,
Industries pushing
I
a
think
buggy.
I already do this for free.
I think so. Sell your hair. Line standing. You can stand in line for someone, or like rich people that don't want to stand in line. Virtual juror.
What?
And then there are other creative ways that we probably shouldn't delve into this
You can
morning.
be a virtual juror?
Apparently, you can be a virtual juror. High shower pressure can help people save water. It does a better job.
Yes,
The
it
higher the
does.
pressure, the less time you need to spend because, well, the Oscars were last night, and I ran across this story. It made me laugh. One woman has a Hollywood-style trick for keeping her husband's stories from getting too long-winded. Amber Wright last week, who shares hilarious and heartfelt videos about her and her husband Nick's relationship, shared a tip with her followers who might be struggling with their partner's wordy ways. In the video, as Nick launches into a speech, Amber plays some swelling, upbeat orchestral music from her phone. As he looks confused and asks, "What is that? What are you playing?" she says, "It's Oscars music. You know, when the speeches are too long and they play people off."
Hey, that's smart.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say,
Did you play that? Did you start that music that my speech is running too
I'm
long?
going to have to find that. Yes.
Okay. Apparently that's my cue. I gotta clear the stage. Like to thank the Academy. Like to thank Eric. All right, gotta get to a break. We'll come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
Do you know what red flags to look for when considering an investment opportunity? Fraudulent sellers might make unsolicited contact, tell you everyone is buying it, and pressure you to invest right now. They make hefty promises over the phone, but never put them in writing. At the Department of Financial Institutions, we have a saying: if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. We're on a mission to educate Team Kentucky and protect your hard-earned dollars. Visit us online at kfi.ky.gov for more information.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
So you're addicted to drugs, so you feel hopeless. It's like a never-ending hole that you can't get out of.
You lose touch with the real people who love you.
And you
feel like you're just a burden on everybody that knows you. But what I'd like to tell you right now is that's not the case. Reach out. I promise you that your life can be turned around and something beautiful be created.
Kentucky is here to help you. Call 8338-KY-HELP or visit the website findhelpnowky.org to begin your journey to recovery. Paid for by the Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Plenty of sunshine today with highs near 60 degrees. For tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds with highs well into the 60s. On your Wednesday, we'll jump into the upper 60s and low 70s for highs with a small rain chance in the forecast. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know, thanks to modern laundry detergents, using cold water is just as effective as hot water? You shaking your head?
I've
You're
heard
not,
that.
You're not buying it?
I don't know that I ever wash my clothes in hot water.
We do towels, right?
Yes, towels. Towels are the only thing I'll do in hot water. Everything else, I just use the traditional.
Well, and now ours just says, "What are you washing?" You say towels or whites or
You got,
so. And
you got one of
it
those
decides.
smart washers.
Well, I don't know how smart it is, but at least has lots of buttons, so it's right up my alley.
So yeah, I was gonna say it's right. No wonder that's the one you
For
picked.
me,
I'm the one who picked it out.
He
so,
did.
I mean,
Yes,
that's,
he did.
Of course, it was well researched.
And I can't really, I would love to be able to crack a joke that, you know, he doesn't use it or whatever, but the truth of the matter is he does use it. Now, I can't say
Just
he
because of the
uses it-
buttons, right?
I can't say he uses it the most.
Oh,
but,
no, I don't use it the most.
But he does use it. I miss our old ones.
Well, yeah. I think you like the simplicity of them.
Yes.
I guess, yeah. Sometimes they are a little too smart.
All this sensing nonsense. Okay, I know what's in there. I know how I want it washed. I don't want you sensing and telling me what I want it to do.
Well, I hate to say I told you so, but I did prophesy on Friday. I would say the following: Kung Fu Panda 4 wins the weekend box office, $58.3 million. Dune at 2, Imaginary at 3, Cabrini at 4. The Oscars were last night. Might as well change the name to the Oppenheimer Awards. They pretty much cleaned house. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor for Cillian Murphy. Robert Downey Jr. won Best Supporting Actor. Barbie did win Best Original Song, the Billie Eilish What Was I Made For. Oppenheimer almost got Best Original Score, by the way. You got Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing. Emma Stone won Best Actress for Poor Things. Best Supporting Actress went to Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers. I almost watched The Holdovers last night while the Oscars were on because Paul Giamatti is in it and I really like him. I didn't watch any of the Oscars, but I thought, well, that'd be appropriate, watch an Oscar nominee. But before I could get there, I started The Gentleman on Netflix, and the first 2 episodes of it are really good. It's, it's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Snubs and surprises. Killers of the Flower Moon got shut out. It's not a surprise to me that Maestro got shut out. It's awful. Barbie, a little bit of a mini snub, but they had a big time. Ryan Gosling saw I'm Just Ken or whatever and kind of had a big time in the audience. Emma Stone, I mentioned you, she won. She quoted a Taylor Swift lyric for her daughter. She said that her daughter's going to be 3 in 3 days, and so she used a "I love you bigger than the sky" or something that was a Taylor Swift reference. She also did not apparently like the Jimmy Kimmel joke that he told about Poor Things. Not quite sure what she said, but she was not amused. But I got to tell you, the applause of the night for me, I was super impressed with John Cena. I don't know how many people. Now, I guess if I had John Cena's physique, I would be much more confident in doing it.
Oh,
But
my.
he walked out sideways
Wow.
with, yeah.
Oh.
And so, yeah. But I got to tell you, his timing was spot on because he comes out sideways, covering. He's got his placard board or whatever that has the winner
Do
in
we
there.
have another shot, Sam?
No,
Is
that's
there-
the only one.
Is there a side shot, a behind shot?
I'm not. I don't think
Can
they
we get a
released
behind
those.
shot?
No.
You do know that this show we do preferably not have to put a rating on it.
No, listen, I just asked if we had those.
No,
you know.
I don't
Okay.
think that's available.
Just give it a Google.
I did not see, however. I don't know what he did when he had to read the award winner.
I
How
have
he
so
made
many
his announcement.
questions. Mhm.
But his timing was perfect because when he got up to the microphone, he says, "Costumes." And he says, a very important part of the movie experience. Some might say the most important part, as he's standing there wearing Birkenstock. So he has a funny bit. It's not really one I expected to see.
Am I allowed to take the picture off screen now?
You could. I was fine with it a long time ago. I thought I was doing the honorable thing by not ignoring it. Super Mario Brothers movie announces a sequel set for 2026 with the same directors, so you have that to look forward to. Ariana Grande performed 2 songs on SNL over the weekend. She did a fine job. Josh Brolin was the host. He's in Dune. Josh Brolin is fine. It's his 3rd time of hosting. The funniest skit of the night was a satire of Moulin Rouge. In Moulin Rouge, they have this 10-song love song medley that they string together in about a 5-minute performance. And it moves super fast, and it's got some of the most familiar refrains from love songs that you know. But as kind of a behind the curtain, they went through and showed you all the songs that they considered putting in because they didn't know what they could get the rights to. So Ariana Grande and Bowen Yang did that skit, and it was really pretty funny. But the bit was that they had to use Happy Birthday a lot because it's not copyrighted. So it didn't have any protection, so they could use it in different places. So the bit became they would get ready to deliver a famous lyric from a famous love song, and then they would just shift into Happy Birthday. So anyway, it was, if you watch it back, it was pretty good. That was the best skit of the show to me. And then what do Madonna and Joe Biden have in common? Well, they have both encouraged people to stand up and dance or stand up and applaud at their events to people who were confined to wheelchairs. Madonna was mad at her concert in Los Angeles last week. She wanted to know why those people over there weren't standing up and dancing. They were dancing in their chairs. They were doing the best that they could. So little faux pas from the Material Girl. Got to get to a break. Come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Parents, are you making moments with your children? Well, think of it as investing in your child's life now in a way that could pay off down the road, especially when your relationship hits a rough patch. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. Making moments accomplishes a number of things. They're memories to cherish. They're teaching opportunities. They can even be fun. But most importantly, they act as a tether of love between you and your child. You might ask how? Well, relationships can be fragile. As teenagers reach for more and more independence, it can cause friction with their parents. I know, I have a teenager. Some teens may even rebel and pull away from their family entirely. The moments created throughout a child's life are what keep parents and their kids connected, even when the relationship is in crisis. The idea is that as a wayward son or daughter grows older and matures, they'll reflect back on the moments you've created together. And as they do, hopefully their heart will soften and they'll become more willing to reconnect with you. That won't immediately heal whatever conflict stands between you, though. That'll still have to be resolved at some point, but it opens the door for the broken parts of your relationship to be mended. So don't overlook the importance of making moments with your child now. Even if it's just a slim thread, the tether of love could become a lifeline your child will follow back to you. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Once I can see this is mine, you can't take it. As long as I know I have love, I can make it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me.
MB's point to ponder for today. I have borrowed from CBS Sunday Morning because sometimes they stumble on things that my brain, this is exactly how my brain works. So I might be pondering, why is it that, so you hear tip top, you never hear top tip. You hear ping pong, you never hear pong ping. Right?
Correct.
Okay, so have you ever considered why that is?
No.
Here we go.
Here's a little puzzle for you. When we hear this sound, and we want to write down what it is we're hearing, we write tick, tock, tick, tock. Now, you could say, and it wouldn't be wrong, that tock, tick is also the sound of a clock ticking. Either way works pretty well, but for some reason we never ever put the tock in front of the tick. When we hear a horse walking down the street, we say it's going clippity-clop, clippity-clop. We never ever say cloppity-clip. We never say pong-ping, though a ping-pong ball can pong-ping, pong-ping, pong-ping just as well. In all these word pairs, and there are so many
Fiddle
of them,
faddle,
you
flim
will
flam,
notice
sing
that
song,
the
dilly
first
dally.
word in the pair always
Itty bitty.
features the vowel I, as in ding-dong or bing-bong. The second word can have an O or an A or another I, but when you look down this list, I gets first position every single time, which is why you never hear about Kong King standing on toe tip eating a cat kit.
All right, so you want to know why?
Okay.
It's because the I syllable is much easier to say
Okay.
than ah or o or, so it's just basically human laziness that we just go with the easiest to say first.
Well,
But
that's
that
good.
you never hear Kong King standing on toe tip eating a cat kit. I thought that's
Yes,
poetic right there.
that's- yeah,
So anyway,
good.
that amused me yesterday. I thought, I'm going to share that with everyone. On TV tonight, The Voice is Blind Auditions Part 5 on NBC. On CBS, The Neighborhood, Hoarders on A&E, Bad Romance, an A&E special on ABC. Special edition of 2020 on ABC. My apologies. Today is highlight in history. This date in 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake and resulting tsunami struck Japan's northeastern coast. Paul McCartney was knighted by QE2 this date in 1997. Sir Paul. Rupert Murdoch is 93 today and about to get married again. Congrats, Rupert. Sam Donaldson is 90. Bobby McFerrin is 74. You know what would make me really happy? Watching a Bobby McFerrin temper tantrum. Like it would delight me to watch Bobby McFerrin go into like a room somewhere and start just throwing stuff in the room up against the wall.
Okay.
That would be wonderful.
I'm just having to Google who that is because I have no idea.
While Don't Worry, Be Happy plays in the background. Like that would be
Okay, now I know who this is.
Jimmy Iovine is 71. Lisa Loeb is 56. Terrence Howard is 55. Johnny Knoxville is 53. Shemp Howard was born in 1895. Lawrence Welk was born in 1903. Antonin Scalia, born in 1936. And then I have another list of birthdays. He's not gone, but not forgotten. But Cesar Geronimo turns 76 today. Sam, you know, he was on the Big Red Machine. And as far as I'm concerned, other than maybe Manny Mota, Cesar Geronimo is the best baseball name ever.
It is pretty good.
Because to hear it at Riverfront, now batting, Cesar Geronimo. Like, oh, great baseball name.
It's a good one.
Let's go. Chart toppers.
Well, speaking of that, too, it's good luck to the Lady Cougar softball. They open up their season today. It's opening day for them.
I heard Ken mention that on the roundup, and I was like, we're playing softball already?
Yep, baseball opens up on Saturday, but softball opens up against North Hardin today at 5:30 at home.
Wow. So this is everybody knows this is the Guitar Polka by Al Dexter. I don't know why I'm bothering to tell you all, something that you clearly already know. Let's go to 1955. Webb Pierce in the jailhouse now. Thank you, Webb. Let's go to 1964. And the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand. By the way, later this week, the Girls Sweet 16 will be on the Moose Daily. Each day session, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, starts at 9:45. So you'll be leaving, some of you will be leaving us early in the show, 3 days this week. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Owensboro got out of the third region, is that right, Sam?
They did. Yeah, Owensboro Catholic had a big injury in the Grayson County game that I think gave Owensboro the slight edge. So it was the Lady Devils that are the region champs for the first time since 92, I think.
Butler County and Catholic boys tonight?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, Catholic boys playing on their home floor for a trip to the Sweet 16.
Don't you say that. Don't you say that.
The OJ's Love Train, number 1 in 73.
You need to apologize to Owensboro Catholic now for insinuating that.
You're going to be waiting a while. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I Love Rock and Roll, number 1 in 1982. Boom, boom, boom.
Is Britney's version better?
She's going to say no.
Oh, my goodness. No.
She said no, she loves this version.
Yes.
This is her rock band go-to.
Absolutely.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. By the way, Mariah Carey, NSYNC, Kanye West all had number ones. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Study while others are sleeping. Work while others are loafing. Prepare while others are playing. And dream while others are wishing. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on.